Well, Jet fans, another wasted Sunday. The Jets go on to lose 37-22. The Jets, I believe, were down as much as 30-3 in this game, and I believe that was in the third quarter, but I actually thought the Jets were going to win this game. I was stupid. I was incredibly stupid. I thought the Jets would start this month off well. I thought they would forget about September. I thought the offense would turn it around. I thought they would take advantage of the poor Dallas defense. But you would think, right? You would think that the Jets had the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL by the way they played today. You would think, by the way the Jets played today, that you'd be missing 4 offensive linemen. No. Dallas, coming into this game, had the 32nd ranked defense and only had 20 points scored on them. And how many in garbage time? That's probably, 19 maybe? Dallas had 4 offensive linemen down. Cooper Beebe, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Booker. I think Tyler Smith was out too. But no, the Jets get they get their doors blown off once again, and Aaron Glenn, once again in the press conference, is talking himself in circles. It's so ridiculous. It's so bad. I apologize that I'm not going to give a full post-game recap and break down the things, but it's been more of the same that we've been seeing all year. There is no progress. There's which player on this team or unit is getting better, huh? Is Sauce Gardner getting better? Because I'm pretty sure he's still getting cooked. He does not look like the same player from his second year, getting cooked by George Pickens for a touchdown. Jamie Sherwood, who got paid this offseason with a 4-year contract, is lacking effort and half-assing run stops, which led to a long touchdown. I believe was from Williams. Why am I'm forgetting the first name. I'm blanking for whatever reason. Not the point. Michael Clemens doing his stupid things. Double-digit penalties again for the Jets. You cannot tell me that this was a close game by any standpoint or any point of view. The closest this game was probably 10-3, 17-3. The defense is trash, and this whole accountability thing that Aaron Glenn goes on about, nothing happens. You know why? Because players are not being benched. And if Aaron Glenn was true to his word, players would be benched. Tony Adams would be benched. Andre Sisco would be benched. Brandon Stevens would be benched. All these guys who are not playing well, making the same dumb mistakes as they've weeks prior, are still playing, and they would be benched if this coach was actually not a fraud. He is a fraud, and I think he's in over his head. And it's almost comparable to what Mike McDaniel said a couple weeks ago. Aaron Glenn said in the press conference, and I quote, "You can't do things that make you lose the game." No kidding. And it's almost as if that stupid, and everybody was like, "Oh, Aaron Glenn's trying this week. He's using a punching glove for the ball security drills." Great. Well, Breece Hall fumbled when the Jets were heading down to the red zone, and of course, the Jets let up after that, and they lost the game. Even Aaron Glenn admitted it. He admitted how weak the team was. He said, essentially, we lost. I'm not going to quote him verbatim or exactly what he said, but he essentially said we lost our mojo after that. So he essentially said the team quit. Would I be surprised if players quit already? No. But I've never seen so many red flags pop up for a head coach. And I've said it 20,000 times at least. I want this guy to succeed, but with every bit of the red flags, whether it's the GM signings, the head coach being in over his head, not being able to answer for how his teams come up unprepared, his lack of answers for the defensive side of the ball, as a defensive-minded coach, what about his offense? What about Justin Fields? If you look at just the stats and you don't watch the game, you're like, oh, Justin Fields played well today. No, he took coverage sacks. He was missing throws once again. He was the same old Justin Fields, the same old Jekyll and Hyde player that has spent his past 5 years in the league with 3 different teams. That's what you got out of Justin Fields. I don't trust anything in the organization right now. People talk about effort, and Aaron Glenn too had a damn good week of practice. Not good, not okay. Damn good week of practice. And I'm not sure he would tell us if the Jets had a bad week of practice. But clearly Coaching, preparation, severely lacks on this team. Lack of discipline. There's also a lack of higher standard. I don't know what you can trust with this team right now. I know fans will go out there and say it's only 4 games, only 5 games, praise the effort, all these different things. How do you honestly not get red flags at this point? Once again, heading into this game, the Cowboys, 32nd ranked defense. Their weakness was the middle of the field, and they were out 4 offensive linemen. Yet the Cowboys scored 37 on the Jets. No pass rush, by the way. I don't think anybody sacked Dak today. Not one player. And I don't know if I mentioned it on my video, but I said I'll say this now. I thought whenever the Jets were bad, even when back in 2019 when the Jets were 0-4, they beat the Cowboys with Dak Prescott. Obviously 2 different teams, but it's embarrassing. Definitely going to have a therapy stream for y'all tomorrow night. You guys can sound off. It's ridiculous. It's so bad. You just start to run out of words because it's the same thing over and over again, and you're hoping that it's a nightmare, it's just a bad dream, but it's not. When you think the Jets can't get worse, they always do. You thought you went bad with Adam Gase? No, let's go to Robert Saleh. You think you had it bad with Robert Saleh? No, let's go with Aaron Glenn. As Joe Benigno once said, I'll cap this off with this. You can change the coach, you can change the uniforms, you can change the players, you can change the lunchroom, you can change the stadium. The Jets, it will still be the New York Jets, and the results will never change. Talk to y'all later.